Podcast. How much does Python app development cost? Complete guide. In the series of podcasts containing technical information about useful emerging technologies and their usability for growth and beneficial outcomes, Auxano Global Services brings to you one more worthwhile podcast on the benefits and usability of different branches of information technology. In this series of podcasts, you can find useful information about the technology industry and the perks of using Python for software development. For knowing more about the technical and education series of podcasts and keeping a regular follow-up, you can like, subscribe, and follow our channel. In this particular podcast, we will discuss Python, the benefits of developing software through Python, factors affecting the cost of software development by Python, and a tentative cost of coding through Python language. Python is undoubtedly the most popular language because of its benefits to businesses. It has surpassed other famous languages such as JavaScript and C in terms of popularity and usage. The functionality of Python language has helped it to grow. Versatile programming, simple syntax, straightforward usage, and reachability to its community makes Python an ultimately operational coding language. Companies prefer to employ the Python software development language as its usability also fosters business growth. According to the Google search results, in 2019 Python stood second as the most sought software language on the Internet. Also, it is the official language incurred in the development of Google. Famous companies such as Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Netflix, Reddit, and many others use Python as their primary software development language. As the language is in such great demand, it is used by 4 out of 5 software developers. Adding to it, a Python developer has the opportunity to work from more than 9,000 jobs remotely available. Because it has an extensive community and relevance for current development trends gives Python concrete reasons to be the most used software development language. Hence, here we will discuss the reasons to use Python, the benefits of developing software using the Python language, and will understand the budget template of Python software development. Why is Python a good choice for web application development? The facts above prove the efficiency of the Python language and resonate with its popularity. The software development language is not just a tool for coding, but it can be used to scale up the business too. It has many perks for business profitability and a long-term scaling capability. The language can be used in everyday company processes such as analytics, machine design, information system, and machine learning. Customizations and modifications with Python language are simple to do. Also, its similarity to the English language makes the software development language easy to use and understand. Python language is effortless and straightforward. Also, it supports many programming styles. These two features enable the coders to show their creativity and ideas. It doesn't have any complex coding involved. Someone new or amateur with the development can easily use the basics of language. The language is designed in such a way to give high-level programming features without a need for a thorough knowledge of Python. Many topmost companies such as YouTube consider Python the best choice for development because of its incredible features and functionality. It is a powerful language that can be used for development and scripting. The developers can code effectively and quickly for practical applications. The Python development language has vast community support as many big brands use the language. Community support can help one resolve issues related to the project easily. Moreover, the language makes the site of the software more secure. It doesn't include pointer arithmetic, leaving any room for memory leakage or corruption. Benefits of developing with Python. As we have talked, the uncomplicated nature of Python language makes it the most accessible development language. The simple learning style and its functionality help the language to be easily writable and executable. To understand why the language is widely used and reasons to employ it, we will point out its benefits here. Point 1. The support of third-party modules. Python language has wide community support. Because of the community support, the language developers can have more third-party modules. The third-party modules are codes that are written neither by the company owner nor the hired developer. The codes are written by a third party that is not directly involved in the project. These third-party modules add functionality to the development. Many such modules through Python's community can be adopted. This adoption ensures the language can interact with other platforms and languages in the data pool. Point 2. Open source programming language. Languages with no such proprietary rights that refrain from being used by the public. Open source languages use the open source protocol. The protocol enables the code to be used or modified in a manner that is open to the public with certain provisions depending on the open source license. It offers open collaboration. The type of licensing for open source programming enables the code to be shared and utilized on other platforms. Point 3. Python supports automation. The efficiency of the Python language increases with its automotive techniques. By using third-party modules and keeping it open source programming, Python can automate several tasks of development, surpassing the mundane tasks. This automation saves the time and effort of the team developing the project. Python offers functional coding. This type of coding focuses on the functions of the software or website. Functions are crucial to code organization, and each of them exists in higher-order programming languages. Functional programming uses these functions to bring the best effects for clean and maintainable software. The automation increases productivity through third-party modules and functional coding. As the developers work lesser, they also charge lesser, which means ultimately providing you quicker and more affordable results. Point 4. Increase in productivity. With its functional coding, automotive approach, open source programming, and simple development requirements, the Python language increases the overall productivity of the team working on a project. The development through Python language includes unit testing, framework, and process control capabilities. These all merged under an umbrella not only make programming simpler for the developer but also increase functionality for the users. The language can handle complex multi-protocol applications. Its third-party capabilities and open-source programming nature enable connectivity across almost every database. Point 5. The libraries of support. Python language has a standard library that contains relevant syntax, semantics, and tokens for coding. Its wide support of libraries provides access to the basic functionality of various built-in modules. It is simple to develop, and its third-party modules enable more libraries and frameworks to be utilized. Flask and Django are the two popular frameworks that assist Python in increasing the speed of the development process. Point 6. Multiple-use flexible purposes. Python programming can be utilized for various types of developments. It can be used to code games, machine learning, information systems, websites, software, and the list continues. As it is simple and extends its boundaries from limited types of system requirements, the Python can be used for any system with implying creativity and ideas. Python allows one to have a customized software or website that can communicate about their business to its consumers. The developed project can be a good medium for marketing and brand positioning. With Python, it is easy to develop and modify the projects. Factors that affect the cost of Python app development. After knowing the benefits and reasons for using the Python language, you might be wondering about the investment required for developing through the Python language. However, there can't be a determined price without learning about the project requirements. Therefore, here we have listed 4 factors that determine the price of development through the Python language. Point 1. Features and functions. The first factor comes in features and functions. It's simply explainable that features add functions are an integral part of any software, application, or website. The features and functions define the user experience and user interface. Adding to its importance, the features and functions also determine the complexity of development. More functional features require complicated coding. Lesser functions mean easier and a smaller number of codes. More a developer has to code, and increased complexity rises the price up. Generally, the developers charge per hour. That means more the time a project development will take, the more money will be demanded by the developers. The usability and functionality play a role in engaging the user and creating a lasting impression. Starting with a budget template, count the number of features you want and the type of functions needed. Point 2. Product scalability. The reach of the project also determine the price. Product scalability simply means the number of people going to use it and the geographical locations where it will be launched. With an increase in the number of reaches, the price will increase. The cost of Python development will rise with more scalability of the product. For a larger audience, better security and more manageable features for the admin are required. This added coding and development takes more charge. For example, if an app is to be launched in only one country, then language, payment gateways, communication channels, and many other features would be lesser than an app to be launched in 6 countries together. Therefore, after counting the features of the app, create a list of places you want to launch the app and a tentative amount of people who will be using it. Point 3. Location of your Python development agency. Another primary determining factor is the location and type of professional agency you have hired. They will charge according to their company's protocols, and the final price of development will be based upon what they charge. The rates of the agency differ with the country they belong to. For example, an agency working in India will cost $20 to $30 per hour, whereas an agency working in the USA will charge $100 to $150 per hour. Through outsourcing, you can hire an agency from other countries. Choose the agency wisely and with precision. The agency will not only determine the price but will also impact the whole project. Point 4. Overall Python app development time. Time taken to develop an app is considered a determining factor. Mostly the developers and agencies charge their price on per hour basis. The price for time differs because of the level and type of professional involved in the development. Several factors impact the time a project will take. Firstly, the size and complexity of the project will influence the time required. Also, if the resources for project development are easily available, then it will take lesser time. Point 5. Python app maintenance cost. Now, this factor is a post-development. Maintenance is required if the software or website experiences a glitch or error. Also, due to technological advancements and changes in the market, a business might want an upgrade. These post-development requirements take different charges. The maintenance cost will be majorly influenced by the features you want to add or correct and the time it will take. According to research, the average Python app maintenance cost is approximately 5% of the total development and design cost. Don't ignore the maintenance or update because of its charges. It is important to keep your developed project updated according to the market and technology requirements. Python app development cost. All the factors mentioned above the influence and define the price of Python app development. Generally, the development cost starts from about $5,000 and can go up to $40,000. The cost depends on various factors mentioned above. If you want to make a tentative budget template for Python development, then count on the factors mentioned above. Check its price according to the requirement. It will give you an approximate idea of the costs. However, it is advisable to consult a professional Python app development agency for a perfect budget template. Conclusion: Python is the most popular language for development. The reason is its functionality and usability. Many developers find the language easy to use and implement. Expert developers can use the language for showing their creativity and customize the coding accordingly. Also, amateurs can easily understand the coding and implement it. Auxano Global Services is one of the best bespoke development agencies using Python language. For knowing more about the Python language, its usability, its benefits and the price determining factors, please feel free to consult our professional Python developers who can give you more detailed information about the Python language. Thank you for listening to our podcast. We are happy to discuss the information about the Python game development cost with you. Subscribe and get a notification every time we make a useful podcast with helpful technical solutions and business strategies. Stay tuned for upcoming podcasts.